Ladies and gentlemen, Treyarch has just dropped a massive leak. Now, unfortunately, this was an accidental leak, and you're going to be seeing a bunch of information for the new zombie map. So if you're a little bit worried about spoilers, I would just click off the video right now. But, ladies and gentlemen, we already know all 4 of the code names for the upcoming 4 zombie maps in Black Ops 6 Zombies. There's only going to be 4, and we already know in the next Call of Duty Zombies game, there's also only going to be 4 DLC zombie maps, which is crazy because Black Ops 4 still is going to be the one zombies game with the most amount of zombie maps, which is still kind of crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, we know Citadel de Moore coming December 14th is codenamed ZM_Bloodstone. Now, this is quite interesting, obviously, because of all the King Arthur lore that's going to be appreciated with that map. And what's also crazy is the fan theory of 4 elemental swords might actually be confirmed as well with the game files, because there was a sword that came out that was called ZM_Umbra Blade. And Umbra Blade is actually a weapon that you get in Final Fantasy VII, and this is a shadow blade. So honestly, I think a melee wonder weapon is sick. I really enjoyed the Crystal Axe back from Forsaken, and especially now that we have melee Macchiato being used, and also the potential 3rd weapon slot with just your melee weapon being the wonder weapon. That gets me incredibly excited, and honestly, I hope we get to see some amazing clips from that. So ultimately, hopefully it's also 4 elemental swords. I know it's been quite some time since we've had 4 different variated wonder weapons, so honestly, I would absolutely love to see that, and that would be great. But also, ladies and gentlemen, another wonder weapon is coming into the zombie maps, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Wonder Waff. Now, I know a lot of people were upset, including myself, of not seeing the Wonder Waff in Liberty Falls. I mean, it's literally in the beginning cutscene, and then it's just not in the map. Instead, you get the jet gun. So I think Treyarch is responding to that, and they are bringing back the Wonder Waff. This is probably going to be the variation that we saw in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, which is, to be honest, expected, because that Wonder Waff was pretty much the most recent addition, so you know they're going to be porting that into the game. So honestly, I'm excited, and also, I just gotta say, I hope the Wonder Waff is not excluded to one Zombies map in the future. I hope this is a wonder weapon that's just put inside the box that is on every single zombie map, kind of like the Ray Gun Mark II, because also the Ray Gun Mark II might even be coming back into this game. So listen, if the Ray Gun Mark II and the Wonder Waff come, I would be incredibly excited. That is an amazing set of wonder weapons. And also for Citadel de Moore, we know that Klaus in some sort of form from Mauer Toten is going to be coming into this map. There is a code string called ZM_Mecha Klaus. So Mecha is kind of already what Klaus is. So I'm kind of wondering, like, are we going to be able to play as like a big version of Klaus, kind of like a Origins giant or something? That would be kind of sick if we got to play that in Citadel de Moore on a Rise and Drag type of map. So I'm just hoping that map feels like a medieval experience. I hope it really gives off the Rise and Drag vibes, and that everything on that map plays and feels well. But already, since we're getting elemental wonder weapon swords, that gets me excited. So I think that's going to give it some really good depth to it. And obviously, those swords are going to be reminiscent towards the King Arthur lore of Excalibur, which is so sick. And also, I have a little bit of an upsetting leak coming up with this one. We are getting some reused enemies brought back into this game, and the one that I hate to say is the Mimic from Firebase Z. Now, we have seen the Mimics countless times since Firebase Z and Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, and also in just all of the other Cold War experiences like Outbreak, and I just do not like this boss. And honestly, it seems like with this game, they're pulling a World War II Zombies where they really want to have a specific boss type of enemy, whether that's the Mangler, where they've reused multiple times, whether that's the Mimic, the Amalgam, or even the Abomination. Now, I know the Amalgam is unique, but I have heard people say that it is very similar to the Mimic, where it grabs you, pulls you in, bites you, and spits you out. And so I kind of agree with that. And so I just hope that the Mimics in this game are not super buffed, and I do think that we are going to be seeing Mimics in Citadel de Moore. So Treyarch, please, like, we do not want a repeat of World War II Zombies where boss spam is a big deal. I know they kind of mitigated that. Like, you don't get as many Manglers until round 30 now, which is nice. But again, I still feel like it's a massive problem for the higher rounds, especially with the always online. But regardless, that is that. And also, we are getting Hellhound. So I think this is a good change, because we did have a leak saying that Hellhounds were coming into this game, but they were going to be something like Plague Hounds or something like a Margwa mixed together. So like a tentacle version of a Hellhound would be sick. I just hope that they do not bring back the Firebase Z Hellhounds, because they're bringing back the Firebase Z Mimics. We could be getting those exploding Hellhounds, and if that's the case, that's just going to be awful. And also, Mr. Dally JD actually made a video about another boss coming into the game that has like 2 heads and has tentacles, and we all thought that this was coming for Terminus and Liberty Falls, but honestly, I don't think that's coming, and I don't think that's going to be happening, at least for a couple of DLC maps. I'm assuming it's either going to be for ZM_Opal, which is DLC 2, or ZM_Topaz or Jade, which is DLC 3 and 4. So I don't know if that's going to be happening anytime soon, but we do know that it is going to be featured in the game. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about perks, because perks is a very, very big deal for this game. Apparently, in the code of Black Ops 6 Zombies, this is the first game since Black Ops 1 that we do not have Mule Kick returning into this game. Now, I don't think that that's a big deal in this game personally, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, like, listen, it's Mule Kick. I know people love Mule Kick, but to be honest, with the way that this game works, you just don't really want to have Mule Kick later on in this game, in my opinion. I mean, by round 40, it takes you that amount of time to get 2 weapons, triple pap, and legendary rarity. I don't really see the point of Mule Kick already, especially because we already have technically Mule Kick built in the game with your 3rd melee weapon slot. And so if that's the case where they're giving us the wonder weapon for that in Citadel de Moore, I'm really not opposed to it. I don't really think Mule Kick is really necessary. Like, in Cold War, people were using Mule Kick to get more ammo instead of actually just getting more weapons in their arsenal. So ultimately, I'm not that big of a... It's not that big of a deal for me. But the other 2 perks that could potentially be returning that we've already discussed about is either Vulturate or Death Perception, as well as Tombstone or Double Tap. And I want to just say that, like, if we're getting Vulturate and Death Perception, we're definitely only getting one or the other. The perks themselves are very, very similar, and that's why I can't see Treyarch adding both of the perks in, considering that when you look at the Wonder Fizz vending machine, we only have 2 slots available for what perk can actually be in the Wonder Fizz. So I think we're only ever going to get 2 new perks for the entirety of Black Ops 6, and hopefully we get some new perks, obviously, with these 6 maps coming with Black Ops 7 as well. But to be quite honest, like, the other 2 perks, Tombstone or Double Tap, I thought those would be the 2 new perks that we would be getting, but I also think it might just be one or the other. Now, a lot of people were saying that Double Tap is not in the game code, it's only Tombstone, and so I just hope that that's not the case, considering they just released this Raygun Mastercraft bundle where literally you are able to get a shotgun that on the pump handle literally says Double Tap. So if they just tease Double Tap and don't bring it out, I would be a little bit upset about that. But we already know that they're using a bunch of Chaos assets. And ladies and gentlemen, the last thing I want to say is the Eye of Apophis melee weapon in Black Ops 4, the one that looks like a meteorite, is coming to Black Ops 6 Zombies. We don't know if it's going to be a meteor weapon, a wonder weapon. We don't know what it's going to be, but it is going to be coming back. So honestly, I'm just so glad that Black Ops 6 is getting a massive overhaul in terms of the Dark Ether story, and they're really integrating the best parts of what we had before with the Chaos storyline. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys are thinking about this leak for Black Ops 6 Zombies. This is probably one of the biggest leaks, considering we have information for every single map coming up, and I'll see y'all in that next one, baby.